Hello, beautiful people. I am your friendly guide, Mr. Smart. In this episode of the 7 Habits series, we'll learn how to utilize this animated series in the original book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, to fully understand, internalize, and practice the essence of the 7 habits. This self-improvement will not be possible without intentional efforts in the right direction, so Mr. Smart advises you to seek self-mastery by practicing the first 3 habits. Be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first. These habits will move you from the state of dependence to independence. Mr. Smart explores the paradigms of dependence, independence, and interdependence in detail in a separate episode of the 7 Habits series. You can conveniently find its link in the description and card. Independence and private victory is the result of mastering the first 3 habits. With the achievement of these private victories and improvements, you'll have the character base from which you can effectively work on more personality-oriented public victories of teamwork, cooperation, and communication. These qualities will lead you to interdependence, and only truly independent people can achieve such interdependence. These public victories are the natural consequence of the next 3 habits, which are: think win-win, seek first to understand, then to be understood, and synergize. However, Mr. Smart wants to remind you that it's not necessary to fully achieve a private victory before working on a public one. Don't stifle yourself for years trying to work on a private victory before you even attempt to work on a public victory. You can work on both of these types of victories side by side. A clear understanding of sequence will enable you to manage and monitor your growth and development more effectively. Now, the final and 7th habit is to sharpen the saw. Now, this means to undergo frequent self-renewal on 4 levels: the physical, spiritual, mental, and social. We shall learn, or rather live these ideas step by step. So, my viewers, subscribe to Mr. Smart and join us in our endeavor to promote smart living. I love to inspire my friends and fellows to live a smart life physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. The 7 Habits series is a part of this bigger effort to promote smart living. This series consists of animated videos which elaborate and expound on the principles which Stephen Richards Covey has advocated in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This book has empowered and inspired readers for over 25 years. And still, it sits on the bestseller list, with 25 million copies sold worldwide. That's because it enshrines principles which are not bound by time or geography. He wrote this book in 1989, and when he did, he fused the genre of self-help and business literature. My fellows, my friends, my viewers, I'm sure these guidelines will go a long way in attaining private as well as public victories, provided you follow and put them into action. It's not something you can read in a minute and put in a drawer and expect a miracle from. No, it requires specific actions on your part. Moreover, it requires an open mind and soul to change. Stephen Covey writes, "No one can persuade another to change. Each of us guards a gate of change that can only be opened from the inside. We cannot open the gate of another, either by argument or by emotional appeal." So Mr. Smart would love his audience to open this gate of change. Only then will you be able to create new habits, which will in turn bring about revolutionary changes in your private as well as public life. And Mr. Smart wishes you the best of luck in this lifetime journey. Beautiful viewers, like this video if you found it interesting. Also, subscribe to Mr. Smart if you've not subscribed already, and join him in his journey to smart living. And yes, don't forget to hit the bell button for notifications so that you don't miss any episodes of the 7 Habits series. It's totally free. Hello, my viewers. I'm your friendly guide, Mr. Smart. Today we're going to talk about the 4th habit, think win-win, which is based on the abundance mentality. Win-win is a frame of mind which seeks mutual benefit for everyone. All people involved in win-win interactions are winners, so no one has any reason for resentment. All the solutions or agreements are mutually satisfying and beneficial. Win-win is neither your way nor my way. In fact, it is the better way, or the third alternative. However, this win-win frame of mind needs an abundance mentality. It means there are enough resources, success, prestige, rewards, or recognition for everyone. If you get something good, there'll be enough left for me as well. There is plenty out there, and enough to spare for everyone. This mindset enables people to share prestige, recognition, profits, rewards, and decision-making power. But this abundance mentality requires a deep inner sense of personal worth and security. This win-win frame of mind and abundance mentality leads to cooperation, not competition. Beautiful people, this animated video is the 10th episode of the 7 Habits series. These animations are part of our endeavor to promote smart living. Our mission is to inspire you to live a smart life physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. We make entertaining and easy to understand animations because it is very difficult to find the extra time to read extensively, to know and to understand how to live smartly. We highly recommend you to watch the following 3 episodes of the 7 Habits series in order to fully understand and practice the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Guidelines to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What does habit mean? How to form habits. You can conveniently find the links to these videos in the description and cards. Subscribe and join Mr. Smart to learn, practice, and promote smart living. Now let us look closer at Habit 4, Think Win-Win, by contrasting it with the following 3 paradigms. They are win-lose, lose-win, and lose-lose. Win-lose paradigms mean that I win in all arguments, negotiations, and solutions while you lose. I get my way, but you don't get yours. I get all the rewards, resources, recognition, prestige, benefits, and success, and there is nothing left for you. This frame of mind is deeply rooted in a scarcity mentality. We learn this behavior as a child when we're told to do a certain task or exhibit a certain behavior to gain love and affection at home. In this way, a child learns that he is not intrinsically valuable, but that the value lies outside, not inside him. He will compete with his siblings to get more love, care, and attention from his parents. That is how a win-lose mindset gets instilled in his mind. Afterwards, peer groups, academics, and athletics only reinforce this paradigm. Third paradigm is lose-win, which means having no demands, no vision, and no expectations. Lose-win people are quick to appease because they have no courage and no spine of their own. In negotiations, they're always ready to give in. Lose-win means being that nice guy who always finishes last. Win-lose people love lose-win guys because they can feed on them. The grave problem with win-lose people is that they bury their feelings alive, which can later re-emerge in uglier ways. This does not always mean that a lose-win guy will always remain so. In fact, many people swing back and forth like a pendulum between lose-win indulgence and win-lose inconsideration. This causes great uncertainty and confusion around them. The fourth paradigm is lose-lose, which is the situation where 2 ultra-stubborn people interact. One person wants the other person to lose, even if it means that he will lose it too. All for spite, an extremely destructive endeavor to all who indulge in it, to be sure. Dear viewers, like this video if it has helped you to understand Habit 4, Think Win-Win. Subscribe and join Mr. Smart to learn, practice, and promote smart living on 4 levels: physical, mental, emotional, and financial. All these entertaining animations are meant for your learning and inspiration, so what are you waiting for? Just subscribe to Mr. Smart and hit the bell button for notifications. Live a long, smart living. Hello, my fellows. I'm your friendly guide, Mr. Smart. I welcome you to the 11th episode of the 7 Habits series. Today we shall discuss Habit 5. That is, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Before reading Stephen Covey's book, I never realized that we don't get any training for effective listening, which is one of the 4 ways of communication. These include reading, writing, speaking, and of course, listening. We get rigorous formal training for reading, writing, and speaking in academic institutions, But listening is ignored altogether. That is the reason we excel in reading, writing, and speaking, but lose it all when it comes to listening. Try to recall any training or education we've received that enables us to listen and deeply understand another person from his point of view. Exactly. There has never been any training whatsoever that involves how to interact with another person effectively. In order to do that, first we need to understand that person and their frame of reference. So a sympathetic ear and empathetic listening is key in our interpersonal communications. This can create emotional bank accounts that lead to commerce between hearts. That is why Stephen Covey suggests, seek first to understand. In our daily lives, we listen to reply, not to understand. According to experts, words represent 10% of our communication, sounds 30%, and body language 60%. So we need to engage not only our ears, but also eyes and heart. That is the way to empathetic listening and to the seek first to understand paradigm. We need to diagnose first, then prescribe. A professional engineer will first identify and analyze all forces and stresses on a bridge before designing it. There are 4 typical responses when we listen to someone. These are probing, we ask questions from our own frame of mind; evaluating, we either agree or disagree; advising, we give counsel based on our own experience; interpreting, we give meaning to their motives and behavior based on our own motives and behavior. That is anything but empathetic listening. We should instead step into the other person's shoes to understand him, his emotions, his frame of reference, and his intent. The seek first to understand paradigm is universal. It is equally applicable to family members, friends, colleagues, and business associates. My smart fellows, this animated video is part of the 7 Habits series based on what I have learned from Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 7 habits that Stephen advocates in his book are: 1. Be proactive. 2. Begin with the end in mind. 3. Put first things first. 4. Think win-win. 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. 6. Synergize. 7. Sharpen the saw. Undergo frequent self-renewal. We have made dedicated videos on each of these habits for you. Links to these videos are in the description and cards. We especially recommend you to watch the following 3 episodes of the 7 Habits series to fully understand and practice the 7 habits. Guidelines to the 7 habits of highly effective people. What does habit mean? How to form habits. Our mission is to inspire you to lead a smart life physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. This 7 Habits series is part of this endeavor. Like and share this video if you've found any pearls of wisdom in it. Your friendly guide, Mr. Smart, invites you to subscribe and join us in our efforts to promote smart living. Stay blessed and stay happy. Hello, beautiful friends. I'm your friendly guide, Mr. Smart. I welcome you to the 12th episode of our 7 Habits series, which brings us to habit number 6, synergy. What does synergy mean? Well, in short, it means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. For instance, 2 brains working in one team is better than 2 brains working on individual teams. No one in the group is smarter than the whole group collectively. So together, everyone achieves more. 1 + 1 = 2 when it comes to arithmetic. But in positive synergy, it can be 3, 4, or more. Before discussing synergy any further, I would like to recommend you to watch the following 3 episodes of our 7 Habits series to fully understand and grasp these principles. Guidelines to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What does habit mean? And how to form habits. You can conveniently find the links to them in the description. My fellows, subscribe and join Mr. Smart to learn, practice, and promote smart living. This 7 Habits series is part of our efforts in doing that. We here at Mr. Smart know how hard it is to find time to read books that can help us dramatically. Books that have information we need in order to change our lives for the better. We realize nowadays we're all too busy trying to make ends meet, feed our families, make sure our kids have a roof over their heads. We know it's hard. That's why we do what we do. We make animated videos about powerful and effective principles and practices in an entertaining and easy-to-understand way. So all you have to do is have the desire to listen and the means to do so. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of the books that's deserving of our work and dedication to bring to you in such a creative way. Now, let us discuss how to produce positive synergy. I often used to wonder about it until I understood and practiced habits 4 and 5, those being think win-win and seek first to understand, then be understood. In fact, synergy is the fruit of these 2 habits. 2 individuals cannot synergize with a win-lose, lose-win, or lose-lose mindset. Moreover, synergy is simply not possible unless we empathize and deeply understand others from their point of view. You need to throw selfishness away and start thinking as a team player. Are you getting the point? If not, please watch the following episodes of our 7 Habits series in sequence. Be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. Put first things first. Think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. You can conveniently find their links in the description and cards. You can bring about phenomenal positive changes in your personal and work life if you thoroughly understand and practice these habits in letter and spirit. Take my words for it. I'm saying this from my own experience. When we trust and open up to each other, we get genuine insights from one another. We learn from each other's experiences. We forego my way and your way. We instead explore the third alternative, which is, in fact, the better way. As a whole, we produce more than what we could produce individually. The fundamental requirements of Habit 6, Synergy, is to always value the differences. It's not something you accept or tolerate. Instead, you should celebrate these differences. Here the strength lies in differences, not similarities. These are not just fancy words to convince you to value the differences. Value literally lies in the differences. However, there is need of a common purpose, goal, and set of principles. Without this commonality, there will be negative synergy, in which 1 + 1 will be less than 2. A group of people in this scenario will achieve less than what they can achieve individually. Here differences can lead to chaos and prejudices. My fellows, like this video if it has helped you in understanding synergy. My mission is to inspire you to lead a smart life physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Subscribe and join me to learn to practice and promote smart living. And yes, don't forget to hit the bell button for notifications. It's all for your benefit. So what are you waiting for?